next topic is food safety. Food safety. Okay. Well, how much should we get into this? First of all, our job here, Department of Health, is to look at illnesses, strange illnesses, either quantity or quality. Quantity or quality. That's an outbreak. Even one guy in the bizarre thing, that's unusual, so we check it out. Why is this food related? Germs, okay? Sometimes it's chemicals, toxins from the germs, and sometimes it's just toxins, like gasoline in your food, something like this. Okay, so we kind of know what food problems are. Thank goodness we don't have radiation in our food, but we do have chemicals and we do have germs. Okay, so I thought, I'm pretty comfortable with this, no problem. Then you will notice in the last 7 years, there's lots and lots and lots of germs getting into our food.
I'm up at the meeting in Pukalani filming right now.
Spinach, this and that, the wild paging and spinach and peanut butter.
Yeah, I'm filming right now.
Falling into the peanut, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Okay, I'll talk to you
We
later.
know that. We know that. We've been following it. Not only is it contamination, but one of the most common causes of germs in the food is sick people serving it, or sick people making it. Okay, so I don't have a problem with that. And so President Obama passed the food safety law in January of this year, 6 months ago. It's a food safety law. And it specifically exempts farms and restaurants. It is in the production of the food, sorry, it is in the processing of the food. So you grow asparagus, but they are looking at the processing of canning it. They are looking at the processing of drying the figs or whatever. But they are not looking at restaurants. We will look at restaurants, but they're not looking at farms, the growing, the production. So hey, that's good, because that's where we're seeing a lot of germ contamination in the processing. I'm all set, no problem. Lo and behold, people in our state government tried to put a bill, it's called House Bill 676 or something like that, to regulate the production sites, the farms. You have to pay to be inspected, you have to pay again and again, and they will hold you to very high standards. For example, you cannot irrigate your crop unless it's potable water. So a lot of people said, we really want to do this? So the Department of Ag said, we should do this, and the Department of Health would take the lead. Well, my boss said, well, we're not going to take the lead. We just don't have the resources. She didn't say we don't have the expertise. She said we don't have the resources. So the bill died. Then it was quickly resurrected by another group called Business Development with no hearing, suddenly pushed through, and now we have a bill on production, that they will regulate the production. I didn't know this. I mean, it snuck through at the last minute. So, let me tell you what's wrong with trying to regulate production for germs. You can have a very clean product growing in the farm, and I can make it very dirty in the processing part. So, just because you have a clean farm, it's a false sense of security if you're going to dirty it downstream. And the converse is true. You can have a very dirty product coming out of your farm, and I can prep it. That's why we have certified kitchens. That's why we certify it, we being Department of Health. I can prep it to remove those germs. Once again, we can take care of the germs at the processing stage. Why are we obsessing with it in the production phase? So we had to ask the governor, please veto the bill. Please veto the bill. And it was pretty close. Does anybody know what the bill vetoed? But not to worry. Because if the bill wasn't vetoed, they still accept that Department of Health has the authority. And if you ask me, as Department of Health, what is the issue in health in the production, the growing? Well, if you ask me, all you gotta do is watch ABC, and there's a URL for ABC. It's called pesticides, and they call it the dirty dozen. And they say, go to that URL, you can't wash it out, you can't soak it out, and somebody better check to see if the stuff is actually incorporated in the plant, the pesticides, okay? Because chemically, as a chemist, yeah, it can go in, and it cannot come out. So, it's called the dirty dozen, Diane Sawyer, ABC, and they have to count the clean 15 just so that it doesn't look like you're dumping on the plant. Apples, celery, peaches, blah, blah, blah. Multiple pesticides, 7 or 8 at once. I mean, not just one. So, once again, if we didn't kill the bill, we would like to use the bill to look at health issues in the production stage of pesticides, where it really should be. Now, maybe the bill got killed, but the guy, what's his, Martinez, one of your farmers union guys, he promised the governor that if the governor vetoed the bill, he would write another bill for the production phase, and we talked about looking at chemicals. Simple as that. The number one issue, not my opinion, ABC, Diane Sawyer, is chemicals in the production, in the growing. In the processing and serving is germs. Don't sleep on the food. Okay. The number two issue in the production phase, and I speak as a private citizen, is GMOs. Okay. Because that cannot be washed out or erased out, and you got it. Okay. Yeah, well, that goes into the pesticides. So where do we stand on the pesticides? You see how convoluted this thing got? There was a federal bill, we interpreted and went overboard. It got killed, but then it got resurrected. But I could live with the bill because I would go after real health issues in the production phase. Or if it was killed, we would write another bill. Somebody is going to address pesticides, and it ain't just Diane Sawyer on ABC. I mean, she's kind of like, and so she asked her medical guy, Richard Bessner, well, Richard, what shall we do? And he says, just go organic. Well, they're redefining organic to allow certain levels of pesticides. So you want to what they are. So you want to redefine it again as we're trying to say no spray. And once again, isn't that intention? He didn't mean to spray, but it's all full of chemicals. Well, for now, that's the best we got. Okay? So, the other thing you should know is that we came back from Kauai. I've been following Kauai for 5 years now. They, a seed company is spraying right next to an elementary school. And they're getting reported repeated illnesses that everybody is a little bit alarmed about. I mean, they go to the hospital and all. And now they're suing. After 4 years of no response, they're suing. Lawyers came down from California, and lawyers subpoenaed the spraying, the stuff they're spraying with. Now, never mind that what they're spraying, who knows what happens to the seed? Is that animal feed? Are we actually eating it? This is a little different. The wind is blowing onto the elementary school. Believe me, the wind is blowing onto the elementary school. And when they actually showed the results that lawyers got, the combinations are fantastic. The combination of them, and compounds are toxic. They actually combine it and spray. They actually spray on Friday and spray on Thursday, but Fridays hasn't been gone, that's 6 days. So combination not only means you sprayed it together, but the half-life in the environment hasn't cleared. Combination also means that if I gave you drug A and you still have residual liver problems, and I give you B, that's considered combination. You're combining the toxicity, although A is gone, it just left some damage in your liver. These guys don't know what they're doing. Nonetheless, we all agree, some of the pesticides alone have been well studied because the people who let them loose, the EPA, USDA, they believe in the precautionary principle on one pesticide. Make sure you know what you're doing for that one pesticide. The minute you combine chemicals, now we know this from the FDA, drugs, vaccines, it's considered a new compound to prove it at once, let alone 9 Yeah, I mean, huge combinations. So, the way forward in Hawaii is split. Some people say, I want to sue for damages. You got to show me damages. And they're polling the population for chronic diseases, including cancer. The other half of the people say, well, forget the damage. Can you just stop what you're doing? It's like firing into a schoolroom of kids. Some people would say, did you hit any kids? Let's sue for damage. Other people say, can you stop firing? So the lawyers called me back and said, we understand where you're coming from. I mean, you know, just stop. Once again, they will ask for EIS of accommodations. And any scientist in their right mind would say, yeah. Especially when it's 8 or 9 at once, even together. Even more than that, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay. So then apparently Oahu is having the same issues. So last Saturday we went to Wailua, next to a seed company, and they're wondering what's great too. I don't know how Hawaii is moved off so far ahead and Wailua is a little bit in the dark. We'll have the two groups kind of fall together. Okay. So that is all I want to say about food safety. Now we're going to questions.